Hello, my name is Luis, and for this speech I will be greatly informing y'all about the country of El Salvador. El Salvador is the smallest Central American country that is slightly smaller than the state of Massachusetts. The capital of El Salvador is San Salvador. Ways of transportation around Salvador that I've been told consist of buses and hitchhiking. Hitchhiking, getting in the back of people's beds, trucks, and then obviously from there being transported. The official language in El Salvador is Spanish. You gotta know Spanish if you go into El Salvador. The population of El Salvador is racially, culturally mixed in ways of it being European and American Indian, I believe. But with that Spanish language, I personally don't understand or can read any of the things out there. So again, if you want to visit the country, you'd have to know Spanish, as well as having a valid passport to travel there. Currently, the president there in El Salvador, as of June 1st, 2019, he does have a funny name, Nabith Bukel, and is the 46th president of El Salvador. The current currency in El Salvador is in US dollars. So you're okay if you have any US dollars, but again, you won't be able to speak any Spanish or understand it if you don't or haven't learned Spanish. The previous currency was colones. I believe it was colones because of Columbus, Christopher Columbus. But again, they did change it to the US currency. But it's very cheap there, I heard. So if you want to get and travel out there, it's beautiful. But transitioning to cultural aspects, as y'all know, as Americans, y'all love football. Sunday night footballs compared to El Salvador. They love soccer. They treat soccer how we treat football here in America. It's highly viewed there. Dancing, which I'm not very great at, is popular there. And their music consists to going along with all the dancing is Kumbua. I recently listened to their music. Didn't understand anything. It does have a catchy beat, nice bass to it, makes you want to move your hips. One place that I've been told to visit and was informed by my sister-in-law is I believe a city named Conchagua. They're very famous for their pupusas. And actually my sister-in-law is from El Salvador, so pupusas to her are very important. It's an important meal to them. It's very delicious. To us, it's like eggs and bacon every morning. After pupusas, she said there is a view. I believe it overlooks the Gulf of Fonseca. It's a hard word to say, Fonseca. Fonseca, the Gulf and the ocean consist of big game fishing. There's also a volcano. If you're scared of volcanoes, I wouldn't go to El Salvador. It'd be very scary, but El Salvador is best known as El Soto. I believe that's what it's called. An active volcano, and it's also a lighthouse to boats outside of in the ocean and whatnot. There are week-long festivals in honor of San Salvador's patron saint, Jesus Christ. Their religion is based of Catholic. Everybody there is Catholic. Not everybody, majority of the people in El Salvador is Catholic. They celebrate kind of like how we celebrate 4th of July, September 15th in El Salvador. They pop fireworks, they cook out. It's beautiful. Everything is lit. Going to unique communications. There are similar unique communications with us among Salvadorians. A person towards his or friend non-verbally with his hand can wave you down. But strangers are summoned verbally. You can't really wave them down. You would have to go up to them, introduce yourself, say hello, my name is so-and-so, my name is Luis. Catching attention, they hiss, noises, hey, come here, stuff like that, small things. It is highly rude to point at people directly. It's an offensive thing, hand gesture to them. Family structure, big families. Actually, big families live in maybe a size of this living room, but it's to them their house. They share amongst the objects, material, everything around them. They share, and culturally, they help each other out. Somebody goes fetch water, somebody will garden, clean the house, etc. Many single mothers, women give birth at a young age, and due to the influence of the Catholic Church, birth control is not widely accessible or easily obtainable. So there are a lot of babies out there, and it's against their religion to take anything like that plain B. As for us, as we know in America, they can't obtain that. Whew. Polychronic culture. They are usually late. They're on their time. You're supposed to be there at 6 p.m. They'll show up 6:30, 6:45, 7 p.m. possibly, and it'll be okay with them. Collectivistic, very family oriented. Just like I said earlier, how they're in a house, one small house, but a big family, and they all have their own chores to do. So El Salvador is something actually. It's an interesting country. And if you know Spanish, you feel comfortable visiting another country, doing your own thing, seeing another view of the world, I would recommend and suggest visiting El Salvador. I've only been once though, with my sister-in-law last year actually. And I would recommend going. It's a beautiful view. Pupusas are they're very delicious. But thank you for listening to my speech.